You want to become a day trader, become a trader and make a lot of money. You think somehow you're going to just from one day to the next, you're going to bypass all the education. You're going to bypass everything, all the sacrifice, all the hard work. You're going to bypass all that and become profitable out of the blue. Somebody does it within 6 months. I don't care how smart you are. Really? If there's one thing about day trading is that you need years of experience of the market smacking you around. You need the market to smack the crap out of you every day for a long time, years. So to be a lawyer, I had to go through school for like 7 years. And I forgot, I mean, just because you go to undergrad and you get a degree in 4-year university, you just don't get to go to law school. I mean, you're competing with 18,000 people every year to get into a law school spot. That means you have to take this exam, the LSAT, and score high enough for you to get accepted to some law school somewhere in the country. So you're already competing just before you even could think of getting into law school. And even then, being a lawyer, like that doesn't pay as much as professional traders. So what makes you think you could just do this from one day to the next? I mean, yeah, that's foolish, right? You can't do that. You need the experience. So to become a medical doctor, same thing. 4-year degree. Then you get entrance exam. I mean, if you're good enough to score high, then you might be lucky enough to get a spot in some medical school somewhere in the country. If not, you're going to have to go abroad. And then after studying for another 4 years in medical school, then you have residency. And then maybe you'll be a practicing physician. You think you'll be a doctor? Just wake up one day and, oh, I'm going to be a doctor now? No. It's hard work. Dentist, same thing. Pharmacist, same thing. Not as long, but still, you have conditions that have to be met before you could even do it. Now, day trading or being a trader for that matter, swing trader, whatever, I think it's one of the most profitable and lucrative careers you could have. But the problem is one thing. Think about this. At least if you live in the US, think about this. In high school, they don't teach you anything about finances relating to the stock as in detail as you would need to know. As a matter of fact, I think your parents probably, while they were raising you, they were telling you, you just gotta go to college, get a good job, enjoy your life. Nobody tells you anything about what the stock market really involves or the trading aspect. Nobody tells you that. Growing up, they always tell you, protect your money, save your money, and do this and that. All those things over time are ingrained in you. And then when you want to become a day trader, you take this crazy risk. There's a very slim likelihood you will make it as a day trader. You think you're going to make it? No, of course not. You're not going to make it. Because it takes so long for you to be able to learn it. And you have to start with the foundation, the basics. You have to understand the basics. Without the basics, you're not going to go anywhere. I don't care what courses you take. There are some people that are smart, and they're able to grasp it within a couple of years. That's fine. But it's not going to be without headaches and sacrifice. Guarantee you that. There's a reason why the biggest day trading proprietary firms, the biggest ones in the United States, they only hire people from elite universities. They might hire a few people out of it, whatever, but that's the exception, not the rule. You want to go to get one of those jobs in the big banks and big proprietary firms, you better be graduating from one of those top universities and not have already had a different career before, because they'll look at you like, oh, you're already wired. Your mind is already wired in a certain way. It will be very difficult to train you as a trader. And even then, you get hired by those, let's say you're 22 years old, you're graduating from Yale or Harvard or whatever, and you get a job as a trader, one of those big banks. They're still gonna train you for a year, 2 years. You're not gonna touch any capital. You're gonna be subjected to 40, 60 hours. You're gonna sleep, eat, breathe, day trading for 2 years before you even allowed to trade $30,000. And even then, they're gonna still drill you for a few more years until you become profitable. That's sacrifice. That's hardcore training. That's not, I wake up whenever I want and turn the computer on in the middle of the beach and I'm making money and that's it. I'm enjoying come on, man, be realistic. It's not that easy. Extremely difficult. It's going to take everything out of you. Yeah, everything. Everything. I remember my law school days. I remember going days without even sleeping, just studying nonstop, because I had a full-time job and was doing that at the same time. I think trading is even worse than that because your money is involved. Unless you have a good job, a good career, you make decent money that you could put money aside and use that for training purposes, just look at it as tuition. You're paying tuition. That's your university. You're in trading university, okay? And for the next 4 years, you're going to pay private university tuition every 4 months, okay? So get $20,000 every 4 months into your trading account and knock yourself out accumulating hours in the market trading every day. Do it every day for 4 years. Almost full-time. Almost. If you have a full-time job, you're gonna have to manage somehow, work midnight or, or do Forex, and then you do your regular job during the day, then do the Forex at night. But be exposed to that with your own money over a long time. And the market every day is gonna smack you. It's gonna smack you across the face so hard, man. You'll be like, wow, that hurts. Unto the moment that the smack causes a tooth to fly out, you're not gonna learn. You're not gonna learn. You have to go through the dentist several times for you to get it. Once you go through the dentist and you get an implant, because the market smacked you so hard that your tooth flew out, then you might start getting it. Oh, yes, I have to respect my stop loss. Yes. Yeah, whatever goes through here and I'm thinking, that's not it. My point of the story is that it takes a long time to do it the right way. It takes a lot of experience. It takes a lot of cash. Oh, Frank, but I want to do a SIM account. You know what? SIM accounts for me is when I get a new platform, which I will not get a new platform. I have used that Trader Pro since I think they came out. But if I were to get a new trading platform, I think I will use a SIM account maybe for about a week, just so I could get accustomed to the trading platform, the hotkeys, how everything works, so I could be ready to use it with regular cap. That is the only way I use a SIM is for that, okay? A simulated account, whatever, is for that. Not for real trading, because it's not gonna teach you anything in what you really need to work on, which is being smacked. You have to get smacked. Honestly, I think it's the only career where, well, hold on. Let me think about. In the military, you get into hand-to-hand combat with people. So, they're your friends, but you get the little, you spend like 2 days just fighting each other. That's fine, no big deal. But you have protective things, so it's good. Then the police academy, I think you do that too, for like a few days, right? Maybe 4 or 5 days. You grab people, you knock them down, but they're your friends too, so you have protective gears. Not the financial market. The financial market will actually grab you and will smack the crap out of you. Not even like a friend would do. No. It will be a full-blown smack on your face. Until you go through that many, many times so you could learn the hard way, you're not going to make it. So if you see anybody telling you, oh, I put $100, I made $1 million. I made $1 million. I've never been exposed to this. I just learned yesterday in some class online. Come on, man, please. Please, really? Like, who you bamboozling, man? Really? Doesn't happen. Doesn't work like that. The only one's going to teach you is the market. The market is going to teach you. It's going to give you one-on-one day trading opportunity. That is, day trading university is the market. You got to give the tuition to the day trading university, the marketplace. You give them the tuition and it's going to teach you every day. It's going to smack you until you learn the hard way. It is the only profession you're going to learn the hard way. Every other profession is mainly books and testing and then hands-on, a little bit here, a little bit there, and that's it. That's the bottom truth. That's the reality. But not trading. Trading is going to teach you 101 from day one. You put money in the broker account, you log in, oh my God, you're so excited. 9:30, oh my God, the bell. Oh my God. Oh yes. Oh. What? My account is zero? What just happened? Yeah. Well, lesson 1, you got that covered. Next day, whenever you put more money into that account, it's going to be lesson 2. It's going to teach you a few more things. Okay? Until you become so humble that you look at the market, it's like you log in, 9:30 comes up, you log in, boom, boom. There's nothing here. All right. It's boring. There's nothing moving. Yeah. What's going on here? Yeah. Lunch? Okay. Come back. Oh, this one's looking good. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, this is my bid. Let me go in. Stop loss in place. Boom. It doesn't hit your stop loss. Then you're like, oh, okay. Interesting. Good. Oh, it's profits? Okay, let me just add a few more. Tiny size, of course. Oh, it continues to move. Let me add some more. Oh, wait. Is that a red candle? Okay, I'm out. Okay, bye. All right. I'll be back tomorrow. That's how it works. Once you become trained and you've been through the experiences, you've been through day trading university, that's exactly how it's going to work. You don't care. It's not a big deal. Your blood pressure doesn't even move. Doesn't rise or go low. It doesn't matter. Your heart rate stays the same. Test it out. If you're beginning day trading, grab one of those heart rate monitors, put them yourself, like they do with the lie detectors, right? You go and take the lie detector test, they strap you up, they put the blood, measuring pump thing, whatever, blood pressure pump, and you sit there for 4 hours and they're asking you all kinds of questions about you and your background, your family, what you've done. It's the same way. Strap yourself with all that. Monitor yourself when 9:30 market opens and look at the numbers. Just look at the numbers and you're going to see it. You're going to see how you are acting and reacting to the movement of the stock when your money is in it. Go ahead, put in your crazy bet of 100% your account value. If you have a $5,000 account and you put $5,000 at once, okay, go ahead, do it. If you're crazy enough to do that, attach the monitors, look at the numbers in real time while you are in the trade, and you're gonna see your body reacting in a way that you didn't even know it would have been capable of. Just by looking at the heart rate and the blood pressure. You're not gonna be able to day trade until you attach those monitors in front of the computer, you start trading, and the numbers do not change. Think about that. The biological aspect of your body not being altered by you seeing your money going up and down in the marketplace. Until you can control that to that point, you're not going to be profitable. Most people, it takes them training. It takes them years of training to adapt your body, to adapt yourself, to not be responsive to what you see in front of you. The fight and flight syndrome, until you can manage that 100% with certainty as to the result and the outcome, you're not going to make it. That's the truth. Try it. You'll see. You're going to struggle. Market is going to take your life, the financial life, not physical life, obviously. It's a computer. Unless it catches fire, some blows up, but no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the financial aspect of you being a day trader, right? What is taking your life as a financial day trader, meaning losing all your money, right? So, it is so risky. Think about it. Most people don't make it. Look, my law school class, I think it was 120 something people when we first went in. I think when the first semester was over, I think we dropped like 50 right off the bat, like boom, they were gone. Like we never saw those people again. The second semester, more people stayed. By the third year, we graduating, whatever, I think only like 50 people graduated. So even a legal career or medical school might be similar or a little bit more, difficult, but there's like a 50 or 40% chance you might make it. Think about that. You go to school, undergrad, you have in your mind your goal of becoming a lawyer one day or a medical doctor or a dentist, whatever. There's a 40% chance you're going to make it. There's a 60% chance you're not going to make it. The bottom line is you might end up in some job that you're going to hate forever. There's a 40% chance that you're going to make it. And if you do make it, then okay, fine, you did it. Day trading, there's a 92% chance you're going to fail. Now think about that. Even professional careers, doctors, dentists, lawyers, pharmacists have a doctor's degree, but they don't go to school for 7 years, 8 years. They go to school for, I think it's just 5 years, right? Because 4 years undergrad and 2 years pharmacy school, 6 years. It's a little bit different. And if you get into chiropractor medicine, that's even less. I mean, that's like, you don't even need a bachelor's degree for that. I mean, you could just get a chiropractor's degree. It's a doctor's degree, but it's a stretch. Anyways, getting back to the topic, none of all those degrees, there's a good 40% chance you can make it. You know, when it comes to probability, it's not going to be more likely than not you're going to make it. No, it's going to be, well, it's less likely you're going to make it, but you can still make it. It's 40% chance you're going to make it. There's an 8% chance you're going to make it as a day trader. Why is that? There's no professional university for that. There's no standardized exam across the entire country or world that says you have to take this exam to become a day trader, and somehow it's going to test you becoming a successful day trader. There's no such thing. It's garbage. It doesn't exist. There's no university program that you could log in and you could enroll and pay tuition and say, yes, we're going to make you a profit. We're going to teach you everything about being a trader. By the time you finish here, 3 years after your undergrad degree, you're going to become a doctor of day trading and you're going to become a day trader. No, doesn't exist. So let's go back real quick. To be in a profession that takes at least 7 years to study, there's a 40% chance that by the last year, you might make it. Because then you have license exams and all that crap. So there's a 40% chance that you might make it after 7 years of going to school, after high school. My point being is, it's going to take 7 years of education to have, at the end, a 40% chance of you making it in that career. But when it comes to day trading, there's no formal education from any university at all for that. There's no license, there's no standard exam, there's nothing. Yet, to become a day trader, a successful day trader, there's only an 8% chance of you making it. What do you think of that? You like the likelihoods of that happening? It's pretty slim chance you're gonna make it as a day trader. Now, you're smart enough, ask yourself, why? There's no formal education. There's no testing. You don't even have to go to college at all to be a day trader. And yet, it's the only career that you have an 8% chance of making it. You wonder why? Because a human mind is not designed for that. We are not designed for day trading. If it's something that is not taught to you since you're like 6 years old. If your parents teach you, and your parents were successful traders, if your parents taught you since you were teaching you since you were 6 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, they started teaching you about trading the markets. And that's all you did your entire childhood growing up. By the time you turn 18, you're the master day trader of all times. You will make the 8%. But who goes through that? What? 1, 2 people, maybe, in the whole country? I mean, who goes through that? Are you teaching your kids that? I mean, do you even know how to do it? I mean, are you successful enough where you're teaching your kids to do it? No. So what makes you think you're going to be able to make the 8%? If you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the foundational education about it, you don't even understand what it is, you don't want to open the book and read it. When it comes to day trading, if you don't understand the basics, if you don't know the basics, if you don't know specifics about the marketplace, how even it became what it is now, and you don't understand the foundational forces behind it, you're just gambling. You're hoping. You're hoping you're going to make it. It's extremely hard, people. It's 8% people only can make it. What are you going to do about it? You're going to pay some course? You're going to go, oh, I know what you're going to do. Yeah. Hey, go to the firm, you pay them a fee. They give you a platform, valuation platform. You pay them money. Think about that first. Pay them money to give you an evaluation to see if you know how to trade. And then they give you these ridiculous rules that, it's like, really? You're not flexible at all? Because in real life, you have to be flexible. In real day trading life, there's certain things you must be flexible. Not when it comes to risk management, of course, but everything else, yeah. Because who are the traders? The traders are humans. Every trader there, buyer or seller, is a human. Even if it's done through a computer, it's programmed through a human. So it's human emotions you're dealing with. And you have to be flexible when it comes to that. You have to make the quick split decision. You know, the fight and flight syndrome. It's what happens when you're very scared for your life. Everything slows down in your brain for you to make the right decision to protect your life. That's really what it comes down to. And unless you've been exposed to that over and over and over, in police work, we used to call it the pocket factor. Okay, I don't want to get into what it means really, but you get the point, right? You know, when you're facing fear so extreme, a fear that is so extreme that your pocket factor starts contracting, you know, the pocket factor, right? You know, you go and do number 2, that area. When you're facing the fear in real life, that your life is at risk and the pocket factor starts squeezing, it's an involuntary movement in your body when you are facing the fight or flight syndrome. You have to make the decision, do I run or do I fight to death? When you have to make that decision in real time, in real life, your entire body chemicals changes. Adrenaline spikes up, your pocket factor squeezes, your brain starts analyzing everything in slow motion, even though it's immediate and fast, for you to make the right decision to save your life. You know, there are a few careers that get subjected to that. One of them is the military. Military teaches you that, and you're subjected to that when you get deployed to combat and you're exposed to fighting where your life could be taken at any second. Those guys and gals are subjected to the fight and flight syndrome all the time in combat zone. And trust me, through training and experience, they know what they have to do, fight or run, okay? Police work is one of the few careers that you are subjected to that at all times. Fight or flight. Either you fight for your life or you run for your life. You have to make the decision. The same thing happens in the financial marketplace. You see the stock movement and you either fight or flight. The correct answer in the stock marketplace when you are day trading is to fly out of there with your freaking money. That means respecting the stop losses. That means keeping your capital and ensuring that you don't risk more than what you need to risk for yourself to stay solvent, to stay, to keep your money. For you to learn that, it's going to take so many times of the market putting you in the situation of the fight and flight syndrome, and you actually dying financially right there. You have to go through like a bunch of death, financial death, because your fight and flight syndrome is telling you to fight instead of flying. You have to fly. You got to fly away like a bird because it's the only way you can protect your money. If you fight the market, there is 100% certainty you're going to lose the fight. You're going to die. It's financial death. It's ruin. Fortunes have been lost in the market because the fight and flight syndrome tells them to fight. Don't be an idiot. There's no fight in the market. It's a huge army. You cannot fight a huge army by yourself. You have to run, find cover, dig a hole somewhere and hide and conceal yourself so it doesn't see you. I'm giving you examples from the military and stuff, but you get the picture. In real life situation, when you encounter the fight and flight syndrome, your body, your brain is going to automatically tell you what is your best avenue to take based on what you see in real life. So I'm going to give you an example in police work. Let's say, yes, I've been shot at, I've been stabbed, I get all that, yeah. Okay. Hypothetically, let's say I'm in some situation where somebody pulls a weapon on me. And I immediately, yes, pocket factor, that thing is squeezing down there. Number 2, squeezing. Start sweating bullets without even seeing the sweat. My brain automatically would determine I have to immediate. I mean, it's not even like, I don't even think about immediately my gun is out. Somebody's aiming a gun at me, immediately my gun is out. And that's my brain telling me, you have to fight this one out. It's either that person or you, somebody's dying. If somebody's aiming a gun at you, only 2 things could happen. Either it de-escalates or it ends right there for somebody, okay? I mean, that's the bottom line. That's every day. That's exactly what's going to happen. Either both people decide to put the gun down, or someone is going to put the other person down. It's the only way it's going to end up, because your brain is telling you is fight. There's no flying here. This is straight up fight. Now, if you have somebody with a knife and they're like 30 feet away from you, well, your brain is not too sure what to do. It might say, you know what? Maybe we could run on this one, or maybe we could just fight this one out. I mean, it depends what happens next. But the whole thing about the example is, through life as an adult, you're going to experience very fearful scenarios where your brain is going to tell you the right thing for you to save your life. It's going to tell you to fight or flight. But in the financial marketplace, your brain is going to tell you to fight. It's going to tell you fight, 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 fight. And that's the wrong answer. The right answer is flight, run, take your money, respect the stop losses. Do not overtrade. Do not take unnecessary risk, because the whole goal is protecting your money, not losing your money. If you were to fight, that means you're going to stay in the trade, even if it goes against you, because you're fighting it. Oh, I'm stronger than the market. I'm going to make it. I'm going to survive. No, you're not. Market always wins. And that's what you're not respecting. And that's what the brain doesn't know. The brain does not know. The brain does not know that the market, what you see in the chart and the level 2, is millions and millions of humans basing a decision to buy or sell a stock based on their own internal reasonings. Nothing to do with you or your brain. Look, the example I gave you, the guy with a gun, or the person with a knife, or the person with a gun, that is personal. That's 101. That aiming the gun at you, you either fight or flight. Your brain is going to tell you got to fight this one out if you have a weapon. If you don't have a weapon, somehow you got to fight this one, because you're going to die. Especially if they're aiming the gun at you. There's a strong likelihood you're going to get killed. Okay? It's not, your brain knows that. The brain sees it. The fight and flight syndrome kicks in. Your adrenaline rises through the roof. Your heart rate increases maximum capacity almost. Your pocket factor, when number 2 comes out, your pocket factor squeezes the crap out of the body. Your entire biological system changes, getting you ready for the fight. Because you're either going to fight or that's it. Your brain knows it's not going to make it anywhere else. Same thing with a knife, right? The hypothetical about the knife, somebody pulls a knife, your brain's going to be, well, maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that. It doesn't know whether to fight or flight, It depends on the distance of the knife, right? So in the marketplace, in the financial marketplace, your brain doesn't know the threat that it sees. Oh, Frank, well, how does my brain knows the threat? Dude, the brain sees the shark through your eyes. Your eyes, one of your 5 senses, sees the shark, sees the money going against you, sees you losing money. It tells your brain, crap, fight or flight. What do you think? Slow everything down. Let's slow everything down, slow motion in your brain. Let's spike up, let's spike up the heart rate. Let's spike up the adrenaline, dopamine. Let's spike up the blood pressure, because the brain needs all those chemicals to make the right decision in real time to save your life. The brain doesn't know that the right way to save your life in the financial marketplace is always to run. Your brain is going to tell you, this is similar to the guy with the gun. Pull the gun, fight unto death. Death in the financial marketplace is having no money left. You understand that? Death in the financial marketplace is having no money. I have to repeat it over and over and over so you get it. You cannot allow your brain's response to your fear that you see in front of you, which is the fight or flight syndrome. to take control and dictate for you to do something that is against what you must do. Because you know that selling the stock, it is the only thing that you must do to save your financial life. Because if you don't sell it, boy, I will say it's almost with certainty you're going to lose all the money. Oh, but I could hold them. Yeah, you could hold it for the next 10 years. Good luck. Maybe it goes up. Hey, listen, if it's not money that you need, then fine, whatever, right? Because if you only follow your plan, you follow certain risk requirements, you ensure that you don't trade more than like 1% or 10 or 2% of your account, or you don't lose more than that in a stop loss. Even if the stock goes against you and your brain tells you, hey, fight, and you're like, you dumb enough to say, okay, I'm going to fight. I'm not going to get out. I want to see my money decline. Yeah, why not? Well, hopefully it's just 1 or 2% of your account, maybe 10% of your account, 20% at most. And you know what? You could deal without the money for the next 10 years. Yeah, there's some likelihood it might go up. There's also likelihood that it goes to zero. But, it's a small percentage of your account. You understand? It's not huge. But if you're crazy enough to go there and put your entire capital in your account plus margin, and that thing goes negative against you and you're like, fight. Well, the financial market cemetery is going to bury you. That's exactly what's going to happen. I just wanted to be clear about the probabilities of making it as a day trader for anybody who's starting out, or anybody that doesn't have the willpower to become educated in the field. As to everybody involved, you just have to go through it. You just have to go through it and learn how to deal with the fight and flight syndrome when you see the threat in the marketplace. Because your brain doesn't know what it is. It knows that there's danger. It just doesn't know to give you the right response that you need. And until you train yourself to do that, you're not going to be able to handle it the right way. And I'll tell you something. In the military, at least the combat arms jobs, like infantry and stuff like that, they go through extensive training. I don't know if you know, but at least here in the US, the combat arms infantry people, they go through a basic training and a training that is longer than the average basic training for regular soldiers. Okay, it's longer. There's more things they have to be exposed to. And one thing they do in the military is they give you a lot of training to subject you to the fear. I don't know if anybody in the military could tell you. I mean, there's an infiltration course that you have to go through where they actually shoot bullets on top of you, above your head. If you get up, if you're stupid enough to get up, I mean, you're gonna die. But they do that, and they subject you to that so you can understand how to react when there's immediate death threat, right? Because then you know how to deal with the fight or flight syndrome. Right? And you can make the right decision for yourself under those circumstances. Okay? Same thing they do in police work. I mean, they subject you to all kinds of training, and every year or whatever, you go through a specific training, the same scenarios. Somebody with a gun, somebody with a knife. You don't know what they're going to pull. You have to make a quick decision. That split-second decision could save your life. In the financial marketplace, the split-second decision you always have to make is running. There's no fighting. You're not gonna win. It's an unwinnable battle in the financial marketplace. I mean, you fighting millions of humans making decisions that has nothing to do with you. So if you don't understand those basics, and we already went through the speech about there's no formal education for becoming a day trader. There's really no course. If hey, listen, I don't sell courses, but if you want to spend your time and money buying somebody's course that at the end of the day is not going to teach you anything, because until the market smacks you in the face, you're never going to learn. It's on you. I mean, it's on you. You want to be one of the top 8%? You want to make it as a profitable day trader? Be smart. Start with a foundation. Learn everything as you go. And it takes time. Look, if to become a doctor is 7 or 8 years, become a lawyer 7 years, become a dentist is 6 years, a pharmacist 5 years, a chiropractor 4 years. I mean, all those professions takes a long time. And like I said earlier, there's a 40% chance you're going to make it. Day trading, it's only an 8% chance you might make it. Why wouldn't you spend the 7 years to study it and to practice it 101 with real money, little by little? You understand? The simulator accounts, your brain knows it's not real. You understand? Like you can't trick your brain. It's stupid. You can't just tell your brain, hey, that's real. No, your brain knows there's no immediate death. There's no threat. There's no money. So your brain, your biological, you don't believe me? Listen, try it. Try it out. Try it out. Come back to the video when it's posted and leave me a comment. Hey, Frank, you're foolish. I bought the heart rate monitor, the blood pressure pump monitor, the heart rate monitor here. Okay. I went into day trading with real money. Okay. I put in max account value, all the capital you have, all the money you have in there. I put it into one trade. It went against me. And you know what? I fought it. I look at my sensors and everything was fine. The numbers didn't change. I'm going to be like, you're lying. You are lying. You're lying. Or you're a psychopath. I mean, one of them too. The psychopath can control the entire biological measurements in the body, right? I mean, that's how bad they are. But unless you're that, you're lying. Or you have been trained long enough where whenever you see the threat, you already know the only solution is to fly, never fight. And since you made it a habit, like routine, like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, that type of behavior, unless you reach that level, your monitors are not going to be like this. The numbers are not going to remain steady. I mean, you have to reach that level for those numbers to reach the level of, okay, this is nothing. And honestly, until you do that, until you're able, until you're capable of day trading with your money in real time, with all those monitors attached, and you're looking at the number, you're looking at the blood pressure, you're looking at everything, you could have somebody next to you, your wife, your spouse, your husband, whatever, your dog. I could train my dog. I mean, he could do it. Next to you, and they could take all the measurements and write them down while you're day trading in real time with real money and with a proper risk. I'm telling you, you're going to look at the numbers. You're going to be like, oh yeah, you know what? I reached a level where I could trade and my entire body doesn't change. My biological numbers do not change. My brain is not affected. I already know that the only solution under this threat of losing money is flight. Fly like an airplane, like a bird, whatever you want to call it. Flight, leave, sail. Or if you're shooting cover, that's really, it's going to come down to that point. But it doesn't happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a year. I don't care what course anybody tells. Listen, you could take anybody's course and you'll be out of $3,000, $5,000. And at the end of the day, you're going to learn jack. You're going to learn nothing that you couldn't learn on your own. First of all, I'm going to tell you something. All the rules about the financial marketplace by NASDAQ, Dow Jones, whatever, all those things are governed by the SEC, right? An independent governmental body or whatever. You could go to the website and they have all the rules there. You could read them. You could learn them. You could know exactly how they're governed, So you would know that. You don't need somebody to tell you, this is the SEC. This is what a broker is. This is what... You don't need to pay somebody to tell you that. It's common knowledge. You could just Google it. You would know that. Okay? What I'm talking about knowledge that you really have to learn is not that. That's like stupid, right? Because that's I know it's knowledge, right? By definition, it's knowledge, but straight up stupid because, I mean, most people would know that. And if you don't know that, you could just Google it and you would know that, right? So, and knowing what a platform is, I mean, that's pretty elementary, right? I mean, you don't need to know. You don't need a college degree to know what it is, right? A broker, I mean, come on. So the basic foundational information like that, you could find that from like the SEC. There are many books that have it. You could just read it. You don't have to pay someone $5,000 or $3,000 to learn those basic information. Okay, unless you want to be spoon fed, I don't know what to tell you. Then maybe you shouldn't be in day trading, because you have to have your ability to think independently of anybody else. Okay, not what somebody says, not what somebody does. You could see it, you could witness it, you could learn from it, but you do make your own calculations, you make your own decisions. You know, I mean, you're gonna have a brain for nothing, or you're gonna have a brain to use it. I mean, if you're gonna have a brain to use it, you have to make your own independent decision. You cannot rely on what somebody says. Somebody says something, you could make your own decision, put it to test. If it works for you, then fine. If not, then cool. But at least you did your own work. Okay, so a lot of the information these people give you when they're selling courses is just elementary, basic nonsense. Okay, if anybody comes to you and tells you, hey, you got to follow the moving average, it gets VWAP, I'm like, dude, like, really? That information is historical, it's history. It's like looking at pictures from your birthday from like 20 years ago, 10 years, 2 years ago, whatever. It means nothing. It means nothing to what's about to happen in real time. So it's not even, I'm not gonna, I don't know what to say. If you really need a course that you have to pay somebody to do that, then fine. I mean, that's cool for you. I mean, hey, that's your money. I mean, But what I'm telling you is that information is available everywhere. You don't need to pay somebody to get information that you already know. Oh, because they have their own strategy. I'm going to tell you something, and I have a video about that. The best strategy for day trading is illegal. The best strategy ever. The best strategy, I mean, the government's not stupid. They thought about that a long time ago, right? The best strategy to make money in the financial marketplace is inside trading. I mean, come on, it's obvious. If you tell me company A is gonna disclose information tomorrow, it's gonna spike, there's a strong likelihood it's gonna cause the stock to go up, guess what I'm gonna do the day before? I'm gonna buy a crap lot of them, right? That's inside information. The problem is that's illegal. You can't do it. People will go to jail, right? You can't do it. There's a reason why it's illegal, right? Because it gives the trader an unfair advantage above every other trader, right? That's unlawful. You can't do that. And that is the only best strategy that exists. Everything else is crap. Oh, but it breaks out of the range. It breaks. Come on. Really? Really? Do you even understand what that is? Look, I have the platform open. You see the little candle here to the right? Okay? Everything that you see there already happened. It's the past. It means nothing. It absolutely means nothing. No moving average, no VWAP, no candle will tell you what's about to happen in 2 seconds. It can't. You have to understand that information is just historical. It's history. It's a record. Look at it from this perspective. Imagine that since you were a little kid, your parents, as you were growing up, one of your parents or sibling or let's go there. Your dog, you teach them how to use a pen. Since you were, a toddler, it tells you to stand by the wall near the kitchen, and every 6 months it's going to measure your height. You're going to measure your height, and you do that for 18 years. And one day you're going to come back as an adult. You're going to look at it, it's like if you're still in the same house with the same kitchen and the markings are still there, you're going to see it and be like, oh my God, look. It's a record of my height for the past 18 years. Does that predict that next month you're going to have one of those heights again? It's foolish, right? Of course not. We don't grow back down, right? So financial marketplace, the same thing. Everything you see to the left on the chart, everything you see on the chart, everything, well, it's a record of something that already happened between buyers and sellers that you would never know. And of records of transactions involving price, value, and volume levels that will never happen identically the same ever again. It would never happen. So what makes you think it's going to help you? How is that going to help you? None of that information is going to happen again the same way. Now, if you tell me, oh, Frank, look, if you look at the daily or the monthly or whatever chart, you see the chart right here in gray, this aftermarket. If you tell me that somehow the law requires every buyer and every seller that participated here exactly the same way, with the same amount of money, the same amount of value of volume, the same price level per share, they're going to meet up next week again. What day is today? Today's Tuesday, right? Wednesday? Yeah, I forgot the day. So Wednesday, I don't even keep track of that. Wednesday, they're going to meet again next Wednesday at the same time, 4 o'clock, at the same stop, WLDS. This same chart is going to be here next Wednesday at 4 o'clock. If there's a law requiring that, then yeah, I will rely on that information, because next Wednesday comes around, I know exactly where I'm going to put my money. As a matter of fact, every trader will know exactly where to put the money. Guess what? It's not going to happen, because if everybody puts the money the same way, well, market is going to go nowhere. You see, a market with the traders that all are aligned at the same level, it doesn't move. So it could never happen. It is physically impossible. It will never happen. So why do you care so much about history when it comes to the chart? Because you know, common sense tells you it's not going to happen ever again the same way, ever. For you to have an unfair edge, it's just, if that would give you an unfair advantage, the governments would allow it, just like they did with inside trading. Think about it. You think the government wants anything out there that gives any trader an unfair advantage amongst other traders? No, they're going to make it illegal, just like they did with inside trading. So if the chart, which is historical information, and the moving average are historical information, well, the government knows. And as a matter of fact, they tell companies, public companies, to always include in the prospectus or whatever documents they have to file with them that, you probably heard this before. Don't be surprised. You're going to hear it again. Past action is not indicative of future action. Have you ever heard that before? Yes, you have, right? Whatever happened in the past does not indicate it's going to happen again in the future. In the stock market, since it includes millions of buyers, millions of money, millions of different price changes and volume, well, there's a strong likelihood, I would say 99.999%, it will never happen again. I would say even certainty, it will never happen again. So what's good? What's all this good for? I tried to answer that philosophical question. I got stupid over that one day, and I kept thinking about it, and I read a bunch of books about it, and I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense why those things exist nowadays. It didn't exist back in the 1700s, 1600, when people were trading all kinds of stuff. And it didn't even exist in the early 1900s, 18th century, and 19th century. But yet, for 200 something years, there were always traders trading everything, right? And they were making money on it. But it had nothing to do with charts. Had nothing to do with moving average. The only thing they dealt with was just what is the price and how many buyers and sellers are there right now in real time. That's all they care about. Then early 1900, 1901, 1902, whatever, or early 1800, whatever, the tape came about, right? And it's this little machine encrypting the stocks. Writing the stocks and the last price. And every 15 minutes, it would just go along, right? And that's all they use. They still make fortunes. They still make millions of dollars. They had no charts. They had no moving average. They had no, I don't even know the names of those things. What is Bollinger Bands, something? I don't deal with them. Oh, Frank, but you have them in your chart. Yeah, I have only the main ones. This is the 200 and this is the 20 and the 9. I know that for the past 200 minutes in the 1 minute chart, or the past 9 minutes, or in the past 20 minutes what these other humans have decided their fair price for the stock was. And that's it. I just wanted to know the information so I could have an idea what the overall trend of the market is. And the other reason why I have it is the reality is that 70% of society is just not really too educated, and they're just going to follow that. So, the smart people, the professional traders that, are well educated and very well trained, they understand that the majority of the population, 70% of the population, do not have formal education. Okay? They know they're going to follow those things. So they know where to buy and sell based on that. They have an edge. That's their edge. They know exactly how people are going to react. Because out of 100 traders, we already know the probabilities, right? 92 chance you're not going to make it, 8% chance you're going to make it. So out of 100 traders, only about 8 will know what I'm talking to you right now. Do you think they want that disclosed? Of course not. They don't want to tell people that. You don't want to inform the public. You don't want to tell people. Because then they become good. With proper training, with experience, they become very good if they understand this basic information. And then they won't have an edge. So there's a reason why these things exist in your charts and in your platforms, and the brokers make it so easy for you to have all that information in front of you. First of all, you have to understand brokers make money on you. It's a weird relationship, right? You open an account with them, you think they care about you because, if you can't log in, they'll call them, hey, I need to log in. Oh, sure, we'll reset your password. Blah, blah, blah. You got in. Okay, yeah, I got it. They're helping me. Oh my God, they're my friends. Oh my God. No, they're not. That's a company that exists strictly to make money from you. It only exists to make money from you as a trader. How do they make money, Frank? I get commission free. They sell your data to a third party and they pay them. So they use you to get paid by somebody else. As a matter of fact, you read the agreement, it says it. Oh, but I pay commission, Frank. Well, there you go. There you have it. They're making money of you. They want you to trade a lot. They want you to look at those lines. They want you to love the studies, to follow that, to live your life by it so they can make more money, right? You're going to get into this cycle where you're going to be making trades so rigidly based on the technical information that has nothing to do with the current price action or the future. Nothing. But they want you to keep trading so you could pay more commission, so they could make more money. So, are they your friends? Of course not. It's a business relationship. Give me a platform so I could access the market and I'll pay whatever commission I have to pay you and move on. They don't care about you, but they do want you to stay trading. So if you become a day trader so rigidly and so technical that you must always trade, if this line touches here, I must do this. If this goes here, I enter, I exit here, oh my God, you're doomed. You're done. Finish. You're going to become into this cycle you're going to become a depositor into the market. You're going to make daily deposits into the market. You're going to leave at least $10, $20 in the market. You're going to leave in the red. I'm going to take that money from you in the market because I'm not looking at that. So while everybody's looking at those technical lines and all that crap information from the past that means nothing going forward, some traders, the 8%, are taking your money because they know not to look at that so rigidly like you do. I mean, a lot of retail traders, they base their decisions in trading exactly because of those technical information. Oh my, if the 20 EMA goes above the 200, oh, I must enter in the huge candle. I must enter when there's confirmation coming down and it touches the VWAP. And oh my God, it's not complicated. It's not that. It's confirmation. Confirmation. That is the funniest crap I ever hear. I can only trade when, it retests that. The most recent one. It retests the VWAP. It retests the moving average. Retest. Like, you honestly think the stock, which by the way has no brain, right? Because it's just a record of a price. I mean, think about it. It's just a number written in a piece of paper. You think a number written on a piece of paper cares when you're thinking about touching the VWAP or the moving average? That is stupid. That is the most stupid thing I hear. Look, honestly, if you believe that, yeah, find another career. Day trading is not for you. Because day trading is not based on whatever happened in the past. I mean, there's a reason why the companies tell you past investment actions are not indicative of future returns. They're required to say it. And you still have dumb people saying, oh, yeah, no, past history is indicative of what's going to happen. No, man. If one thing you learn in college or whatever, if you take a history class, whatever, what you learn that the good thing about knowing history is to know what humans have been able and capable of doing in the past, good and bad. So you can make the right decision going forward, whether you want to be good or bad, or be along the side of people that make the good decisions or the bad decisions. That's it. But nothing tells you, oh, because Napoleon existed, there's going to be another Napoleon exactly like him, the same height, the same weight, in the same area, conquering the same army. I mean, are you kidding me? You can't be that stupid. So, you got to use your brain. History has nothing to do with what's going to happen in the price action a second from now. I gave the example the other day, and I think it's one of the best ways to do it. You know what to call a group of cats, a bunch of cats together in the same place? It's a clouder, right? But imagine a bunch of different firms and retail traders that have a bunch of cats near them. Okay? And the cats, they decide to walk on the keyboards all at the same time across the entire world. And what a coincidence that when they step on the keyboard, executes a buy or sell order. Can any moving average even predict that happening? No, of course not. Okay, so why are you so rigidly about it? Makes no sense. What about if there's a bomb goes off somewhere in the world immediately, and the entire financial marketplaces across the entire world is affected immediately? The moving average was able to tell you that? Did the VWAP say, hey, hold on, there's about to be a bomb go off in 10 minutes? Really? It said that? The 20 EMA told you that? 200 EMA send you an email about it? Alert, 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 bomb going off. Really? By the time you find out, the market's already crashed. It's done. Nobody's telling you anything. So that's why news, there's a whole different business of news to push market prices. And I'm not going to get into that now, but if you don't get the foundational aspect of it, I don't think you're going to get into the manipulating aspect of day trading. It's going to be like mind, numbing for you. I mean, take it step by step, learn the basics. You have to start from the foundation no matter what. If you want to do anything good in life, you have to be dedicated, sacrifice everything, okay? And you have to learn the basics so you could grow from there. There's no such thing as you're going to make lots of money overnight in the financial marketplace. No. I mean, you could if you have a lot of capital and you're well trained and you have been successful for a long time and you have allowed the experience of being smacked around for many years to adapt your brain to know that whenever you see a threat in the marketplace, the only response from you is to fly away. Never fight. But your brain doesn't know that. Your brain is disconnected when it comes to that. It doesn't see what the financial marketplace is. It just sees a threat of you losing money, Then you have this ego telling you, oh, no, keep it. But, and then you have your undisciplined self. You're not disciplined. And you're saying to yourself, I want to make more money. So I'm going to put a lot of money in there. I'm going to put a lot of risk. Yeah, it's a recipe for a disaster, a financial disaster, financial suicide, financial death. You're going to go straight to day trading cemetery. Why? Because you're not thinking. You're being emotional. You're thinking of greed. You're talking fear. You're letting your emotions get to you. You have to work on that. Discipline yourself first. First of all, you know what? I'm going to give you an example, and I hope it could probably help you. And you could reach out to me and tell me if it doesn't help you or not. I think most people nowadays have one of those iPhone things or Samsung, whatever it is. Okay, a cell phone, smartphone. I don't know how smart because they're just computer chips, but and the computer chips are just switches, right? Like a light switch. Oh, that's it. That's all it is. So they don't have a brain in there. It's just a computer chip, right? So you probably have one. Most people have one. Okay. I have one for emergencies, but I have one. My phone, you could call me unless it's an emergency or something like that. It's not gonna ring. If it's not like immediate family, I'm not gonna hear it. I'll see it. At the end of the day, I'll take a look at it and say, oh, tomorrow morning I'll deal with this. And that's it. If you send me a message or anything like that on my phone, I mean, if you have my phone, I mean, you're at a different level. But if you're able to send me a message, and you're not within the emergency aspect of my life list, I would not even know you sent me a message. You understand that? Like, my phone would not make a noise, would not show any little red number. It would show nothing. I physically have to go into my phone, open my messages to see if I have messages. You know why I do that? For many years, I don't allow the phone to dictate my life. Okay? The same way I don't allow the marketplace to dictate that I have to sell if the stock goes against me. Or that if I enter a trade and it immediately goes against me, I have to get out. I don't allow it to dictate my life. I don't allow my brain to dictate in the financial marketplace whether I have to fight or flight, when I know that the answer with 100% certainty is always to leave, to flight. Okay? It's not a real threat. Because by leaving, I save my financial life. You understand that? Stop loss saves me immediately, and I respect it. I will say, thank you, stop loss. You saved my life. You're the best. You're my buddy. You understand? I'm not fighting it. I know the only answer is to leave. But your brain doesn't know that. You have to train it to do that. And to be able to train your brain to do that, you have to start with the basics. You have to start with the basics of making yourself happy by teaching your brain that no damn phone, I don't care how smart people think it is, how capable it is of accessing pictures and internet. I remember in the 90s, that didn't exist, but I'm digressing. Unless you're able to teach your brain that your phone cannot control your life, that people out there, it's not your wife or your spouse or your husband, whatever, or your kids or sibling or your mom and dad. I mean, apart from that, and close, family, friends, type of thing, like an emergency basis. Apart from that, if you allow the iPhone or the Samsung, whatever it's called, I don't know the names of all the phones, but you get the point, the smartphone. If you allow the most stupid electronic device that exists, because it's so simple, it's just computer chips. If you allow that thing to dictate every minute of your life for the whole day, you're in trouble. And that's where you start. If you're able to control that aspect with your brain, if you're able to wire your brain in a way that says, you know what? I'm not going to allow anybody to interfere with my everyday life things that I have to do by sending me messages, even if they do it. I'm not going to even pay attention to it until I have the time to pay attention to it. In other words, you control your own time. You control everything If you're able to control that with your brain, you're able to control all that. You don't give in to the impulses of opening TikTok or social media. I don't even have that, but if you do all those things, you're not going to be able to control the day trading aspect of knowing how to program yourself to know that you have to fly, not fight. So it's going to take you even longer to be able to do that. So you have to start with the basics of rewiring your brain a little bit. Start with the iPhone or your phone, Start putting that thing on silent and block, not blocking, but you know what I mean? Like I think there's an option there that you could just certain time frames, no calls come in. So I have mine set up from 7:59 p.m. From 8 p.m. one day, because you can't do 24 hours nonstop. So it has to be like 23 hours and 59 minutes. So what I do in my phone is at 8 p.m. it activates. It deactivates the next day at 7:59 p.m. and it starts again at 8 p.m. There's 1 minute. Your call might get through if you call precisely at that time. I still won't answer. Okay, because it's on silent. And when it's on silent, it doesn't even vibrate. It doesn't do anything. It's there. Okay? Why? Well, it's simple. I don't allow my phone dictate what I do with my time and my life. I dictate my life and what I do with my time. Not the phone, not TikTok, not YouTube, not anyone. At times, not even my wife. Okay? You have to respect yourself first. You have to control yourself first. You have to be able to control your brain, what it wants to do and what it must do are two different things. Your brain wants the artificial stimulation to increase the dopamine and the chemicals in the brain. Your brain wants to go to TikTok, wants to see those fun things. It wants to do all those things because it gives you that positive thing that you like, that good feeling, and it takes your mind away from the hard things that you have to face, which is the most essential things in life that you have to face almost every day. Like the things you have to do. In day trading, what you have to do is sell when it goes against you. And you have to teach your brain to ensure that that's the only thing you're able to do, not fight. But if you're unable to control a little device, a smartphone, what it does to your life every day, what makes you think you're going to be able to control your brain when it comes to day trading and your money is at risk? You won't have the capability because you don't have the training to do it. You don't have the willpower. You have to work on those things first. You have to take this baby steps at a time to teach yourself to do it. If you have never been trained to do it in other circumstances, I honestly believe that probably the best day traders might be people that have seen multiple occasions due to their job, their life being on the extreme fear of death. I think those are the best day traders. Because when you are subjected on a weekly or monthly basis to put your body through the extreme stress of losing your real life, your life, and allowing your brain to do what it has to do to decide whether to fight or flight, always resulting back to training and what is best for you under the circumstances, you're not going to know how to react. You're not going to know what to do. And that's why it takes so long for the financial marketplace to slap the crap out of you on a daily basis until you learn it. Because you haven't been subjected to it. You don't know what it is. You've probably never been shot at. You've never been stabbed. You've never been in a situation where you believe you're about to die. If you believe if your brain knows you're about to die in real life, trust me, the fight and flight syndrome is going to take over and you're going to know the feeling. It feels so weird. It is a very weird feeling. It is at an extreme example at an extreme level. But it's at a higher level than what you're going to see in the day trading place, in the financial marketplace. But nonetheless, it's the same reaction. It's the same chemicals, the same circumstances. The only problem is in the real world, in the real life, outside of day trading, in the real world, your brain is able to calculate whether you have enough time to run, to hide from the guy with the knife or the guy with the gun, if you're able to take the gun away. All those decisions, your brain is going to calculate that in a matter of super microseconds. That's why it slows everything down. That's why all the biological changes take place. So it could make the best decision to save your life. Your body, your brain is constantly working to ensure your survival. You understand that, right? When you eat too much food than what you need for one day, what does your brain do and your body does? It stores that energy for future use. Just in case you enter a stage of malnutrition, the brain can save your life for another 20 days of not eating. Or worst case scenario, you're not drinking water, your brain starts using certain reserves in your body to, for you to survive. A time is gonna come where you're gonna just die, but at least your brain is fighting that. The same thing happens when you are subjected to extreme fear. Your brain is gonna react to try to save your life. It's gonna calculate everything that it sees through your eyes, everything you hear through your ears, everything you know from experience, and everything you have been trained to do with your hands. And it's gonna give you the best solution for the circumstance to save your life at that moment. So if it's a shooting, it's gonna take you back to training. If you were military or cop or whatever, to go for your gun immediately, aim, target, boof, that's it, the end. Or try to de-escalate, put the gun down, let me see your hand. You see the cop shows, you see all that. That's exactly what they go through. That's training. But don't kid yourself. That is extreme fight or flight syndrome at work, okay? But you train for it and you know what to do under the circumstances. I'm not saying people don't make mistakes, whatever. I'm not getting into that. What I'm talking about is the actual biological process you go through when you're facing fear. You fear of missing something. Your brain doesn't dictate whether it's your life or your money. It doesn't know the difference. It just knows you're about to go through some extreme, painful things and you might cease to exist. Okay? And those chemicals, they're there to save you. The problem is you're unable to reprogram that when it comes to day trading. You just can't do it. Your brain is not wired like that. You have to work at it. And there are two ways to working at it. Either you study the field and you become very good at knowing how to control that aspect, or this is the route that most people learn, which is the financial marketplace smacking the crap out of you for, at least 3 or 4 years every day. So that's the reality. You have to rewire yourself, your brain, to know that whenever you feel the threat in the marketplace, running is the only solution. You cannot fight yourself through it. The market will beat the crap out of you every time, each time. You're not going to win the fight. In the real world, your brain is able to calculate, how far is the tree? Can you go high in the tree? Can you run to the tree? How far for you to run to the tree before the guy with the knife attacks you or stabs you? Or if you get into a car accident and your car is, dangling from like the edge of the road and about to like go down an embankment to a road or like a water or whatever area, your brain is going to calculate all that and says, well, you know what? Stick your hand out the window, grab that tree. You might be able to save your life. That's it. That's fine. That's real world scenarios. In the financial marketplace, I got news for you. The brain is clueless, has no idea. It just knows there's a threat and it wants you to fight. And when the brain tells you that you have to fight, and your adrenaline is running high, and your heart rate is elevated, and your blood pressure is spiking up, and you start sweating, and your pocket factor, remember pocket factor, number 2, where number 2 comes out, pocket factor, when that thing starts squeezing because you fear the danger, the fear of your money leaving, your brain, the majority of the time is going to tell you to fight. Fight that. No, fight it. It's not over until you actually sell. You still have time to fight. Your brain is wrong. Your brain is completely wrong. You don't have to sell for you to lose the battle. You already lost the battle because it went against you. Your only option was to sell. You allowing your brain too much room to react, to allow you to react. Some people call it ego, whatever. I think it's just the fight or flight syndrome mechanism at work. The brain thinks because it knows from your eyes, okay? Your eyes sees that the money is not on your side yet. It's still invested in this thing that we call a stock, share. Until you press sell, it doesn't become yours. The brain knows that because you see it. You know it from experience. You have seen this. You know the moment you buy a stock, a share or shares, whatever, 10 shares, you know it's not your money. It's some thing that exists. It doesn't become your money until you realize it. Okay? Look at the platform. It says realize or unrealize. Unrealize, it's not my money yet. Realize, it's my money. So if I'm in the trade, it's going to be unrealized. And if the money starts going red, my brain knows, hey, it's not your money yet. You still got time for fight. Let's fight. And that is the most stupid outcome you can do. Because your brain doesn't realize that unrealized or realized is your money. It doesn't matter if it's realized or unrealized, it's your money. Because you invested in it. So if it goes negative and it's unrealized, you need to realize it immediately. Because it's your money. If you're going to let it continue, stay unrealized, the outcomes are not good for you. It's going to crash and you're going to lose your life, financial life. You know what I mean? So I think that's a lot of talking, a lot of speech. I mean, it's 6:22. I think I spoke forever, but I just wanted to go that foundational, basic information that a lot of people do miss, and they don't understand that. They do not understand that your brain is what causes you to fail as a day trader. And that's why only 8% are able to make it, not 92%. That's a very little ratio. That's a small, little, tiny number of people. I mean, compared to people being able to become lawyers and doctors, pharmacists, dentists, that's 40%. That's higher. Now think about it. 70% of society is uneducated. 30% has an education. There's a 40% chance of you getting into one of those professions or having a career in those professions. But when it comes to day trading, there's only an 8% chance of you making it. Why? The answer is you. Your brain. Your brain cannot do it. Unless you rewire your brain through training and experience and a few smackdowns from the financial marketplace, your brain is not going to learn it. And you're going to continue doing the stupid thing to do that is fight. I'll fight. Yeah. Fighting the financial marketplace is like willingly being subjected to financial death squad. It's stupid. Why would you want to do that? If your brain really knew that, it would tell you sell. Your brain doesn't know that. Your brain doesn't know the real death comes when that thing goes completely red and you lose everything. By the time you realize, you realize in zeros, okay? It's too late. But your brain doesn't know. You have to start baby steps. Start with your phone first, your smartphone. First of all, I would strongly suggest you to get rid of the smartphone and just get one of those old flip phones it's barely smart. It's half smart, right? I would say it's half smart because, it just does what a phone does, right? Rings. If you get one of those first and you can accustom yourself to not live this dopamine enriched life of wanting to know everything, every action that's happening, and living a life of videos after videos after videos after videos, and living this life where you are a consumer, the fun takes over your life. Well, you'll never be able to reprogram your brain when it comes to trade trading, because it takes reprogramming of how you react to the threat of the financial marketplace. That's the reality. You have to train yourself on that. I do invite you guys. Next week we're gonna continue and this time I'm just gonna do a full time. The small account challenge is gonna start. Next week. Feel free to watch the first 3 episodes or 4 episodes so you can see what not to do. Okay. Those videos tell you exactly what not to do in day trading. All right. I do thank you for your time. If you guys have any questions, please do reach out. You can leave a comment. I'll respond to them. You can also go to my website. I mean, you could submit. You can send me an email. I mean, that's fine. My email is posted on the website and in the YouTube channel. That's fine if you have any questions. And again, I have to repeat myself again. I don't teach anything when it comes to day trading. Whatever you see in these videos, that's all you're going to get. Even if you send me an email, I'm not telling you anything on email that is not in a video. Okay. I don't do 101 training in day trading or anything like that. And I don't charge anybody anything. I don't do that. I just don't do that. I'm simply here to tell you my experience on day trading, and I show you how I do it. You take the good, leave the bad behind. This is something that you can learn yourself. Obviously, there's no formal education for it. It doesn't exist. There's no standardized licensing exam to do this. Unless you're going to be investing people's capital, then there's a whole bunch of different exams that you have to go through or whatever, but it has nothing to do with this of day trading. It has to do more like about regulatory enforcement and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that. But when it comes to day trading, it is the only career that could make you very wealthy, where you don't need a formal education. And your competition is just 8% of society. Just think about that. There's not much competition. Everybody comes, they deposit money. There's 8% of people that just take it. They just make withdrawals. Everybody makes deposits. 92% of the people make deposits. Only 8% take withdrawals. That includes the big firms and stuff like that because, they have trained their people the right way. They have rewired the brain. And if the traders start slacking and the brain becomes unwired, well, they get fired. They lose their job. That's reality. That's real life. These firms are putting the capital at risk. The last thing they want is for you to mess that up and lose their money. They're not going to do that. So they do have their own strict requirements. Why don't you have your own strict requirements? Why don't you have a risk manager? If you have a sibling, spouse, crap, even your dog, just ask your dog or a cat, whatever pet you have. Train them to ask you, hey, just give them your daily worksheet about your trades. Hey, dog, what do you think? I did good? Hey, cat, what do you think? I did good? I did bad, huh? Talk to the dog, Talk to the dog and you provide the response for the dog too. You know what I mean? Like you could do like if you were crazy, just, go back and forth and talk to yourself so you understand where you went wrong. My point is you have to be held accountable to somebody. And this could only happen after you rewire yourself and your brain how you think. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you don't have to pay people for that. Those are things you can learn yourself. There are plenty of books out there. I strongly recommend that you go through them at least once, one book a week. And if you have a full-time job and stuff like that, then, okay, fine, you win. One book every 2 weeks. I mean, come on, really? You could leave your phone to the side and read a freaking book, man. Just read 10 pages a day. You'll be fine. Life will be fine if you don't see TikTok or all this, 30-second video thing. Come on. You want this as a career or you want this as, it's my hobby. I have hope to make it. No, man, you gotta give it everything. You gotta give it 150% of your devotion, your time, everything. Your wife or your husband or significant other or your sibling, hey, you want to go to the movies? No, I'm reading a book. You kidding me? We'll go out in 4 years, all right? When I'm done with this. That's how it has to be. That's exactly how it has to be. Oh, you want to go to a baseball game on the weekend? No. Soccer game? No. Basketball? No. I got to read books. I got to become the best I can be in day trading. Please. That's time for that crap. You got to make a decision. What do you want out of life? You want the social entertainment, the dopamine increase, or do you want to become the best trader you can be? It takes hard work. Starts with knowledge, starts with the basics, continues with rewiring your brain and disciplining yourself. That's all it comes down to. What I mentioned about the smartphones, leaving it alone, don't let anybody interfere with your life, don't allow it to make noise, nothing. I literally look at my phone, maybe, unless it's like a family emergency, somebody calls me or something happened, but once a day, maybe in the evening, before I go to bed, that's it. That's it. I don't care. You have to be disciplined in controlling your body, controlling your brain, controlling what you need to do, not what you want to do or what feels good. You know why people do not commit themselves to do the hard work and the sacrifice to get ahead and do everything that it takes? I mean, I remember the days of sleeping, 5 hours every 5 days, 6 hours every 5 days from studying, especially for final exams. I mean, I remember walking into the medical library when I was studying for my law school exams. I remember walking into a medical library, which, by the way, the law school library was during exam times. It was open 20 hours a day. It only closed for like 4 hours. But the medical library in the same school, the same university, the medical library was open 24 hours a day. I was like, oh my God, it's awesome. I would do my 20 hours at the law library, jump those 4 hours to the medical library, go back to the law library, go when it closed, go 3 in the morning. They close at 3 in the morning, open back up at 7. At 3 in the morning, I'll go ahead and walk back to the medical library. I'll be there until they open at 7, go back to, I did that for like the whole week of exams. I think I slept maybe an hour a day in my car, in the parking lot. By the way, the car off, AC off, just to make sure that I would be uncomfortable so I could stay up and I don't fall asleep longer than 1 hour or 2 hours at most. For an entire 2 weeks, the final entire exam period, every semester, for 3 years. You kidding me? Day trading is not even close to that. It's worse. And the funny thing is, every time I got to the medical library each morning, the same people were sitting in the same seat every day. They look so dirty. They were nasty. They smell. They clothes. They were in the same clothes. I felt comfortable because I was the same way. Same clothes. Same everything. No shower. 1 week. You think you could do that for day trading? You think you could dedicate 24 hours a day, 20 hours a day, no matter what, nonstop for a long time? Or let's make it 8 hours because the market is opening like a few hours, not 8 hours. It's less than 8 hours. If you really want to learn this, that is the only way. You have to eat, breathe, live day trading. Everything about it. And you have to rewire your brain. You have to discipline yourself. And the best way to start, I think, baby steps, is your stupid, smart fun. If you're strong enough, mentally, emotionally, if you're strong enough in your brain to ensure that you never allow your cell phone to dictate for you to use it, that's powerful, man. That's a start. That is power. That's powerful. That is your first steps to becoming disciplined. That you do exactly what you say you're going to do. Don't bamboozle yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Just do it. Just freaking do it, man. Put the smartphone away, block all the incoming calls except for emergency contact people, spouses, kids. And even then, kids could go through the wife first and the husband, whatever. And then to me, like you could channel that thing around. I mean, depending what priorities you have. I have this famous list. All my close family members know of my list. And they can tell you about my list. Okay? I'm not going to say it here because it's a private list in the sense that that's how I live my life. I have lived my life. If you know any family member close to me, they'll tell you about my list. They know exactly what it is. Okay? Every decision I make in life has to go through that list. And if it doesn't meet the criteria of that list, I'm not making that decision. The end of story. That's it. Doesn't control anything from me. Always done that for many years. A long time. I'm definitely, you know who's not on that list? It's nowhere near on that list. The smartphone. My phone is not on that list. The list is only for humans. Those close humans to my life. You understand? So even when I make decisions, I have to ensure that I go down that list. If it doesn't benefit everybody on that list as I'm making the decision, depending what it is, whatever, I won't do it. Allowing my cell phone to ring whenever some person somewhere decides to call me, or allowing the phone to make a sound whenever some human somewhere in the world decides to send me a message through either personally or through a computer, or allowing my phone to make any noise when some human decides to upload a video or something. If I allow that to my phone, I just gave my phone my life, my time. I'm not going to do that. I do not allow the cell phone to control me. I control the phone. So you can call my phone whenever you want. You can send all the messages you want. You could click whatever you want. I don't care. Because it has nothing to do with what I'm doing for me. You understand? So I think that's the basic step to be able to control your brain when it comes to that dopamine need that it has. You have to understand that every time you do things that triggers the happiness in your brain, you just inflicting your body with more dopamine chemicals, right? I mean, you're giving the energy, you're feeding that energy in your brain of the happy place. And I got to tell you, everything in life is not happy. There are things you have to do that are not happy. They're cumbersome. They're difficult. They take every energy out of you, but you still got to do it. Your dopamine doesn't like it. Your dopamine doesn't want that. Dopamine wants the easy thing, not the hard. Oh my God, I can't believe I have to study. I have to stay awake. Oh my God. I have to go through all this to get this. Oh my God, so difficult. It's easy just to watch TV. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier than becoming a day trader. But if you really, really want to become a day trader, you don't have an option. You have no option but to sacrifice everything. Sacrifice your financial life. You got to do everything to ensure that you can rewire your brain to understand that any threat you see in the financial marketplace means sell, get out, protect your money by getting out. You don't protect your money by fighting. It's not a winnable battle. The odds of you winning are slim to none. That's why only 8% make it. They know the fight. They know they have to flight, not fight. And the younger you start doing this, the best for you. Because those adult bad habits are not yet settled in. I'm talking about age 6, 7, 8. You start training somebody at that age to become a skillful day trader when you know what to do and you've been successful. Oh my God. Oh, That's like, that's it. That's guaranteed 8%. That's guaranteed 8%. Because they'll be rewired. Their brain will be rewired for so long that by the time they're able to open an adult broker account, they're a financial killing machine. But adults don't have that. I mean, unless you start at the age of 7, 8, and that's all you've done for 8 hours, after school, 4 hours every day or 3 hours every day, and then the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, that's all you train for the entire 18, 12 years you're growing up until you become an adult. Unless you've been trained like that, you're gonna struggle because you have to rewire the brain. You see, when you start our early childhood age, your character as a human is not yet fully developed. Who you are as a human being, character-wise and habits and whatever, it's not fully settled. I mean, you go through stages of learning, and it's just a process. It takes time, and through that process is that your brain starts developing even more to the point that you build your own character. But if you're able to rewire that from the early start, to know that when you enter a trade and it goes against you, you have to sell. That's powerful, because by the time that person turns 18, they don't even think about it. It's just like, sold. I go in, sold, out, out, out. That's it. They don't think about it. It's like brushing the teeth, taking a shower, sell. That's reality. You want to do that as an adult? You want to rewire your brain like that, but yet you never been exposed to the fight or flight syndrome? I mean, you never felt the pocket factor contracting? If again, I'm gonna repeat. I don't want to repeat it again. You should know by now what the pocket factor is. That's the same thing in trading. You have to control it. It has to be under your total control, not the brain. You need to wire your brain to know that the only way to save your life in the financial marketplace when the stock goes against you is selling. Selling is the only way. Immediate sell. Not even think about it. I mean, not even hesitate. It's just gone. Now, you have to learn other things, like when do you get in? Do you follow the masses as to the lines, the technicals and all that? It takes time for you to learn all that. But, I wish you good luck, and next week will be fun. We'll see. You see how I'll do it. And, if you see anything wrong, please do provide criticism real time by joining the chat or by watching the videos later on, and just leave your comments in there. And, you could day trade sacrifice me like that. And you could call me anything you say. You could, just be honest. Be honest to me. All right? I want to hear it. As a matter of fact, I want you to hold me accountable when we go through this experiment. And at the same time, I hope you could learn something from it. I think I spoke a lot already. It's been like 2 hours already. That's a lot. Yeah, I haven't seen any comments from anybody. So maybe I'm talking to myself here. I hope you guys enjoy that, if anybody's seeing it. But I just had to let it out because I think people have the wrong idea about what involves to really become a good day trader. To become good in day trading is what I meant to say. And it's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take everything, sacrifice. It's going to take sleepless days. But most importantly, you have to be okay with having the financial marketplace smack the crap out of you in your face. Just like, smack you. Just like that open hand. Just, financial slap. You need that from the marketplace. It's the best way to rewire your brain to know that fighting is the most stupid thing you could do in the marketplace, man. Fighting is your death. Flight saves you. Fight is imminent death, most certainly, at least for that day. If you want to hold that for the next 10 years, hoping for the best, good luck. But how are you going to rewire your brain to do that when your brain doesn't even know? Your brain only knows to fight most of the time Flight only when it's allowed, when it's okay. Most of the time, when your pocket factor is squeezing, your blood pressure is rising, okay? Your heart rate extremely high, and your brain starts slowing everything down because of the extreme adrenaline rush that your body is having to ensure that you can make the right decision in real time. Unless you're able to train your brain to go through all that and teach your brain that the only outcome is to flight, not fight. Until you do that, you're going to lose in the financial marketplace. Now, if you never experience extreme levels of fear where your pocket factor moves, you're going to struggle even more. And, because it's so hard. It's so hard to be able to rewire your thinking, your brain. It's very hard to do when you have been exposed to something else almost your entire life. I'm being straight up honest with you. That's why most people don't make it. It's not the technicals. It's not the level 2. It's none of that. It's you. It's your brain. It's your brain. Now, why it took me a while, long time. I mean, I started a long time ago, but I think my prior careers helped me a lot greatly because I'm so used to being exposed to fight and flight syndrome, subjected through it. I mean, it's just like, okay, it's nothing. I think I could be involved in extreme life danger situation and my heart rate doesn't even increase anymore. It's just like whatever. Then my wife is like, oh, you have no emotions. I'm like, okay, whatever. But, that's done through training and experience. The same thing in the trading marketplace, in the financial marketplace when it comes to day trading. It's the same thing, okay? Only through experience and the occasional, or at the beginning, the repetitive smackdowns is that you're going to learn how to day trade. That's it. And the lesson learned in day trading, believe it or not, after many, many smackdowns, the main lesson you're going to learn is your brain has been rewired to know that it has to run, fly, not fight. That's it. You probably hear from other people telling you that they've been day trading for a long time. That's all they'll tell you. You have to lose everything. You're going to get smacked. I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I mean, that's a way, that's a method of training your brain. That's a method of training your body, your brain. A straight up smack to the freaking face. To the point that your tooth and your molar, everything flies out. It probably is going to get to the point a smack comes out where your tongue might fly out. But you get the point. You have to go through that so you can learn. Because most humans are incapable of teaching their brain the other way, without the smackdowns. Because you're not 7 years old without a fully developed brain that you can train to do something a certain way since early childhood. I mean, you're not that. You're an adult, right? So you already have these bad habits. You have this mentality already of protecting your money. You have these fears, this greed. I mean, why you want to day trade? Oh, because you want to make more money, because you want to have a better life. Your job sucks. You don't want to do that. Well, those are motivating factors, right? Like greed and fear, or whatever emotions you're going through. They're going to cloud your brain to what to do in the fight or flight situation in the financial marketplace. All those motivating factors, all they're going to tell your brain is, you know it. Yeah, say it. Say it. Come on, say it. Say it. Let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. Fight. That's what your brain is going to tell you. Fight. Fight unto death. Death comes when you press from unrealized to realize. I'm going to tell you something. Death comes the moment the stock goes against you without pressing the sell button. The moment you see your profits gone, you see the negative number red, you are finished. You're dead. You're financially dead. That's it. Whether it becomes unrealized or realized, your brain sees the difference because you know the difference by seeing it through your eyes. But the reality is there's no difference. You're already dead. Now, what are you going to do to be able to rewire your brain to that? I suggest start with a smartphone. Ignore the crap out of it. Don't let it control your life. Don't let anything control your life on what you have to do. And remember, I said what you have to do, not what you want to do. Two different things, right? What you must do, what you have to do is different than what you would like to do or you want to do for pleasure. I mean, it's two different things. Most of the things that you have to do, they're just extremely hard. And that's why we try to avoid it as humans. We just try not to do it, you know? But anyways, that's enough chat for today. I hope you guys got a different perspective from what I'm saying and hopefully helps you. If not, well, it is what it is, your brain. It's your brain. I mean, you could hear it goes in there and you could think about it for like a few hours and then, or a few minutes or seconds, and then it goes out the door. But if you guys want me to put a list of the books that I think that I would recommend for you to read as a foundational basis to really understand what's going on in the marketplace, please let me know through a comment. You could put in the video chat later or whatever, it doesn't matter. And I'll put the list out. My time is very limited to be like typing too much. So just if I read a comment saying it or whatever, then I'll put it on my list of things to get done, and I'll get it done this week, no later than next week when we start the small account challenge. But I do strongly recommend, for sure, there's two books. I'm going to try to remember the name right now. One of them is Reading the Tape or Mastering the Tape or something like that. And the other one is Reminiscence of a Stock Operator or something like that. It's been a while. The title is something like that. Both books are from like the early 1900s, when stock traders didn't have a computer platform with charts and moving averages and 20 different studies that means nothing because it's all past information, right? And I think they're, as a foundational information for day trading, becoming a day trader, I think they're very important to read it and understand it very well. If you're able to read it, I would say even read it twice, 3 times, each book. It shouldn't take you that long. They're not that big. I mean, they're not like constitutional law book or contracts. It's nothing like that. It's like this big. It's tiny. Okay, you could go through it I remember reading one like in half a day, a few hours, and I was done. Okay, so I speed read too, so it's a little bit different. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't really take that long to read. But the information in there, it is so valuable. It is more valuable than any day trading course you buy anywhere from anybody. Just reading those 2 books. It will change your thinking so much as to what you see in day trading. It's not going to make you a day trader overnight. It's not going to do that. But it's going to give you information to ensure that you see it in a different way, that you're not seeing it now. Guarantee you that. Okay? There's a reason why, like the big proprietary firms that have their own professional traders, they have, specific educational requirements they have to go through and they have to understand, and they get tested and everything. It's what they learn. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so and smash that like. Until next time.